Did you guys not hear the thing I just did?
What?
You didn't keep going. Great. Okay.
What did you do?
No, I did nothing.
When you said way to go?
We're going to cut this all out. Nope.
What are we cutting out? Just this?
This part of the word.
Do I need to say anything again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You do?
Okay.
Hello, and welcome to Talking Too Loud with Chris Savage. I'm your host, Chris Savage. I'm joined, as always, by Sylvie Lubau. Sylvie!
Back.
Always back. Here we are, yet
Back,
again.
baby.
Another great episode.
So fun.
So fun.
We're trying Riverside for the first time. It's a big deal.
We're trying Riverside FM today. We're not going to be commenting on their PLG strategy or anything else,
Nope.
or what you need to upgrade for or anything like that. We have a great guest. We have Adam Day, who's our creative director here at Wistia. He's going to be talking about the State of Video report that we just released, which is a very big deal. Tons of insights in this report that you can take with you into your video marketing if you're just getting started, or if you already have a strategy, or if you don't have a strategy. So we covered a lot of that, so stay tuned for the interview. But first, what's got you talking too loud, Sylvie?
Well, funny coinkydink, a dear friend of mine who works in podcasting, she met someone at the On Air Podcast Fest, which is a big podcast festival in New York. And she was like, I met this girl. She works for Wonder Media. This woman. She works for Wonder Media. And she lives in your neighborhood. I think you guys would like hit it off. You guys like, can I connect you guys? And I was like, sure. So get this email from my friend Kate. She's like, Sylvie, meet Emily. And I'm like, cool. And then I get an email from Emily that's like, your name looked so familiar. And then I realized you do Talking Too Loud with Chris Savage. Pause. Chris Savage is my uncle. And my mouth dropped. And I was like, oh my God, Savage has told me all about you, Emily. And I can't believe that, like, this is the way that we're finally connecting. But it was like the most delightful. I called you as soon as I saw the email.
No, yeah, I know. As did she. I got like calls from you both like instantly, basically.
It was just like such a small world moment.
I love it. Yes.
I loved it.
It's so great.
So we're going to get drinks at some point.
Perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you connected. Emily's the best. And it turns out it's a small world out there.
Small and beautiful.
Yeah. And I love that you just randomly interacted with her because someone went to a conference. That's how it should be.
I just also love that you're somebody's uncle. You know?
Of course I am. I was an uncle at the age of like 11. It was a very shocking experience.
You're a young uncle.
I was a young uncle. That's true. And it's actually funny. I'm closer in age to Emily than her mom, who is 16 years older than me. And so it's been this like cool thing of like, I'm also really close to my sister, but she's 16 years older, and Emily is like, I think 11 years younger than me, as I just said. So I hope I have that math right.
The Savage family tree, man.
Yeah.
It's a gift. Keeps
it's
on giving.
It's important to interact with all the branches of the tree.
What's got you talking too loud over there?
Oh man, there's a lot. There's been so much like happening at Wistia. There's like so many things launching, which is really exciting. I went last weekend up to New Hampshire. We got a foot of snow and like went cross country skiing.
Your fave.
A lot through a foot deep snow that was like not groomed, which was like devastatingly hard. And actually I went up like 800 meters with this friend of mine he's in just great shape doing this all the time. And I like never do this type of thing. And he said it would take like 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes to get up this like mountain thing. I call it a mountain. I think it was a hill, but, as we were going up it, I literally had the thought of like, this is so effing hard. Like I'm tracking this workout on my Apple Watch and my heart rate is like, just like pegged at like, 180. It's like just like ridiculous. And I had to come to terms with the fact during this moment that I will never be able to climb Mount Everest. That's what I thought about in that moment. I was like, part of me felt like if I wanted to do that someday, I could. And in this moment of cross country skiing, when he was just flying up this thing, I was like, if this is this hard, it's done. Like I can't do it. So put that to bed.
Wow. So dreams dashed. No
I
more
had my
Everest.
dreams dashed. Yes, by powdery snow.
It's a sad day. Sad day for everyone everywhere when
a sad
Savage
day.
realizes he can't climb Everest.
Yeah. And now, to be clear, as I say that out loud, I think maybe with the right data, the right approach, the right training.
Ooh,
If
like
I had a
where this
real
is going.
strategy, maybe I could make it through, get acclimatized, do all those things. And so, while I won't be climbing Everest anytime soon, I do think we could take that same approach, put it to video marketing, and this interview with Adam will really unleash your ability to conquer the mountain that is
Video marketing.
video marketing. So, with that, let's jump into the interview with Adam. Adam, thank you for being back on the show. So good to see you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
We got some great energy
It's
today.
been a while. I'm glad to be back in whatever this is. I was going to say the clubhouse, but this is different.
Oh, back in the clubhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. Remember that app?
I do.
I remember. I think it's still
Yeah.
on my phone. I
It
wonder
is.
what's
Is
going
it?
on in there these days.
You know, someone should take a look.
Blurb.
Yeah, in the club. Oh
Haven't
my,
been
this
there in
is
a long time.
we're just going today. Adam, you're here today to talk to us about the State of Video report.
I love this shirt. Look at this. You're decked out.
I'm decked out. I mean, who could have
Amazing
given me
shirt.
this shirt, but you. But we have to start. Like, Adam Day, what's got you talking too loud?
I was thinking about this before the show. How many people say that now? How many people say, "Oh, I was really mulling this over"? Everybody.
That's like a high 70%, I'd say.
Yeah, 50 to
I was
70.
like, wait, what could I talk? The only thing that the thing that I really am talking to a lot about these days is the artist's way. You know about the artist's way? I know Sylvie must know about the artist's way. Did I already tell
I know
you
about
about
the artist's way.
Did I already talk to you about the artist's way?
You did, but talk too loud again about it.
Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking too loud about the artist's way. Do you know about this,
What
Chris?
is? No, what is it?
It's a pretty famous. It's pretty famous, right, Sylvie?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty famous.
It's pretty famous.
Artistic
Is it
circles.
in your little area of Brooklyn? This is like
Yes.
all anyone talks
In my
about.
corner of Brooklyn, it's a very hip book, and this one, all of the little bookshops have it here.
It's a book. Cool.
Yes, it's a book. It's like a workbook, and it is sort of like it's like a 12-week guided, like, artistic dive into like your creative self. And I've only done on week 1. I'm gonna start week 2 on the train tomorrow. I'm gonna read about it, but like it has to do all these different exercises, and like the big piece of it is it does this thing called morning pages, which is just like a free association, like journaling exercise that you're meant to start each day with 3 handwritten pages of just like whatever comes out of your brain, no structure. That's like the foundation for it, and then there's a bunch of other exercises that it has you do each week. I'm guessing, at least in the first week, there was a lot of exercises to do.
That's what it seems like.
And I'm loving it. It's so fun.
I tried. I got halfway through. It was amazing. And then I got really busy and I stopped. But I want to come back to it because, if anything, the morning pages, it's like a wonderful brain dump. Like first thing in the morning, having your cup of coffee, just going.
That's interesting. So you're saying it's basically my assumption is like to help free your artistic self or something, or like make it more present every day, or is that the idea?
Yeah, I think so. It's just about bringing yourself, closer, bringing creativity like more into like more of your everyday, more of your every action. You know, it's sort of just bringing you closer and more in touch with like your creative self. So
that's cool. There's That's very cool. There's this book called The Happiness Advantage. There's a lot of stuff around this, but The Happiness Advantage talks about how if you can take the daily habit of just writing down like 3 things that you're grateful for every day, basically in about 20 to 30 days, your brain will start to actually be slightly, you'll create new neural pathways that make you more aware of things that make you happy as they're happening.
I did something like this because a friend of mine was a friend of mine who's like a pretty serious TV producer. When we were having a conversation, and I was just talking about things that I was struggling with, or things that we were just talking about our lives. And I mentioned something about something I was struggling with, and he's like, you know what I started doing like 15 years ago. He's like, I at the end of every day I make a good things list, and I write down all of the good things that happened that day. And so I started trying it. I did it for a couple weeks, and like it was incredible, the impact that it had on me. Like, I remember
do that.
Oh, it was
That's
so awesome.
amazing.
Like, the moment that it really clicked was like, I remember like having done it for a couple weeks, and then I was at home visiting my folks, and like I went to the grocery store and was like looking for this like specific type of yogurt, and like whatever, I was just at Whole Foods, and like they had the yogurt in stock, and like I got so happy and just so like pleased that I was just like, this is so wonderful, this is an incredible thing, because once you start writing all this stuff down, you're looking for things all day to go on the good things list, and you put on everything that you think you wouldn't normally even, you know, think is a good thing, air quotes, and ends up going on the list anyway, and you just realize like how many wonderful things there are in every day. So yeah, I totally agree.
I love that. I mean, it's amazing what can happen. Yeah, I think it's amazing what can happen when you can find something that can turn into being like a habit like that actually changes your outlook. Mm-hmm. It's such a cool thing, and not what I expected us to talk about right now.
There you go. Well, that's what's got me talking too loud. Artist's Way. I recommend it. It's a cool exercise. It's a cool thing to check out.
That's awesome. The other thing that I know has you talking too loud is the 2023 State of Video Report.
State of Video Report. I know. I could have led with that. Is that what you wanted me to do? Is that what we should we just back up?
No.
We should go back. We should rewind the tape.
No.
I thought you were going to do a different segue.
What do you think I was going to do?
What kind of segue do you think?
I can't chat you. So we're new to Riverside. We're recording in Riverside. Can't chat you right now. I had one in mind. It was, you said something like, The Artist's Way, you should check it out. I thought Savage was going to go, you know what else you should check out?
There we
the
go.
2023 State of Video Report.
That's a pretty good segue, too.
Yes,
check it out. 2023 State of Video Report. It's out.
So
it's
we'll keep them
live.
both in, is what you're saying. Okay, so some of our listeners have heard you before, Adam. You came before to talk about show business, which was a full series of 20 videos of everything it takes from conception to publishing and distribution of how to make a show. It was a great episode. Obviously, as anyone who's listening or watching can tell, we know each other and like enjoy spending time together. But I think like I would love if you could set up, what is the State of Video Report? Why are we actually excited about it? Who is it for? Like all the basics for someone who's never seen it or doesn't know what it is.
Sure. So the State of Video Report is an annual report that we at Wistia, we create and we put out, we share with the world. And basically at Wistia, we have, millions of videos uploaded to our platform every year. So we have a lot of data around how people are using video, how many videos people are producing on average. And we also have a lot of information and data around how audiences are consuming that content, because we also have all with our analytics structure in our platform, we have a ton of understanding of how often are people clicking play? How long are they watching videos? How much of the video do they get through, depending on the video's length? So we have a lot of data just around video by the nature of what our product does and what our platform does. And 3 or 4 years ago, we said, hey, if this data is probably useful to a lot more businesses than just us. And so we created a report to share that all that information out, or the information that we thought was most useful, out to folks. The report is a really comprehensive sort of data visualization report around how businesses are using video, how audiences are consuming video, and we want it to be really helpful for businesses, marketers that are out there who are making videos themselves and want a little bit of guidance to sort of spot trends, understand where there are some cool opportunities, understand where other businesses are having success that they may want to sort of jump in and try things out for themselves. So it's really cool. This year was really comprehensive. It was like 70 pages long. It has a ton of information in it. We're super proud of it.
That's amazing. Yes. And I mean, it was like, I know you all surveyed like 1,500 marketers. There's like data from across like 80 million videos. Like it was not a light lift. And it's been cool to see, like, I mean, we're going to get into insights from the report, but I also just think it'd be interesting to talk, you've talked about like, there's all these specifics, but like for us at Wistia, like, why do we do this? Like, why is this happening?
I think first, we do it because we're curious. We want to know what's going on with video, and we want to be able to use the insights from our platform, just like we do for our own account. We are constantly looking at the analytics of our own videos and considering all the same things that a lot of businesses are thinking about. What's our run rate? How often are we producing videos? And like, do we want to beat that? Are we trying to produce more?
Yeah.
Over time, we want to know what types of videos perform the best. We want to know, we're trying to set up ourselves for success. There's a teaching aspect to our brand, and where we really want to share the things that have worked for us. We really want to share best practices and really help other people get great at video, because we're video nerds here. So anyway, yeah, we want to make it easier for people to produce great videos and feel great about doing it. And having data really informs what we do. And so we want to share, just like we're sharing production tips, marketing tips, we want to share all this data that we have access to our audience so that they can make better decisions for their own businesses.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained that, because I think like this is it, with something like this, it's like, what is the goal? Why do we do it? And like, ultimately it came from curiosity, and it came from just trying to understand and solve these problems ourselves. And I do want to go into the report, but I also thought like one thing that's stood out to me is this example in the last probably 4 or 5 months, where you all were like looking at a bunch of videos we're making, trying to make sure we're making the right ones, going back and improving things. And then in our data, you noticed that there was a video where there was like a lot of the iPhone settings thing. Can you just tell that story? Because I think for someone who's never made a lot of videos or understood like the data available to them, it would be easy to miss like this type of insight is possible. Totally.
I love this story because it's just, we use Wistia every day. We use the analytics, and I'm on the marketing team, when we're considering what our content roadmap is, when we're considering what videos we're making, we're looking at the data for our own videos every day. And every time we put out a video, we are tracking that data every single day to understand how's the video performing. Is it doing what we hoped that it would do? So last spring, we were basically doing a lot of refreshing of our content. So there was a lot of content that we made, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that performed really well, but it was getting old, it was getting stale. So like one of the things was how to shoot a video, how to make a great video for your business with your iPhone. And the iPhone featured in the video was like, I don't know, the iPhone 4.
It was horribly old.
Yeah, it was old.
An embarrassment. Yes. I agree with you. Yes. It was a
That's
true embarrassment. Keep going. Yes. It was horrible.
So it was just an absolute travesty. We got a blight on the face of Wistia. There we go. So the advice was really great, but we knew that the footage could be a lot better. We knew that there's, obviously one of the biggest things that happens with the iPhone each year is like the camera gets upgraded in a massive way. So there was just like a ton of new cool stuff that we could be talking about, where a lot of the advice still made a lot of sense, but we knew we could add to it. So we decided to make a video about basically refreshing this idea of how to make a great video for your business using just your iPhone. And video did great. We saw like a ton more people coming in and being excited about this content. But one thing that we noticed, the play rate for the video was lower than we were hoping for. So like when we have a video on our blog, we expect that at least 1 in 5 people that hit that blog are going to be clicking on the video. So the play rates can be up to 30% or 40%. Usually we see it between like a 20 and 30% for our blog.
And the play rate is like the open rate on an email, right? Just for people who haven't looked at this. Yep.
Exactly. However many people visit the page, how many of those people pressed play, and that's the ratio, or that's the percentage that is play rate. So anyway, we noticed that this video had a much lower play rate than we were expecting. And so we were like, why aren't people playing this? Maybe it has to do with the video thumbnail. So we ran an A/B test. We created another thumbnail to see if we could like edge up the play rate a little bit. And in doing the A/B test, a second insight came, because we did see that a new thumbnail like increased the play rate. But what we noticed is between both of the tests, in Wistia you can see what parts of a video someone has rewatched. So you see the general engagement for the whole video, but you also see all the areas that people have rewatched the most. And in both of the tests, so 2 different groups of people, 2 different thumbnails, there was one part of the video that had the most rewatches in both of them. And though that area was just a shot of the iPhone, it was just looking at the iPhone and all the settings. It was like this really simple. We had gone through all these lengths to like sort of make this entertaining video and like all these shots and this lighting. And like the thing that people cared about was just show me the iPhone. Just show me iPhone settings. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Show me tactic. Show me specific tactic.
Show me a specific tactic. And so we said, you know what? This is what people care about. What if we just make a video that's just showing the settings? That's all we're going to talk about is the iPhone, the settings, what settings you need to put on the iPhone to have a great video. We're going to show the iPhone almost the entire time. And so we made a new video, and the engagement rate was like crazy through the roof. The engagement rate for a video of that length, I think it's probably, if I had to guess, it's between 2 and 3 minutes long. We would expect like an engagement rate somewhere in the 40% range, like high 40%. The engagement rate is like 87%. It's like most people watch the entire thing, which is for us, it's incredible. Yeah,
way to go, guys.
We felt good. We felt really good. But that's like such a good example of us like using the data and to make new content, which is what we want to help other businesses do, which is why we make the State of Video report.
You brought it back.
Yeah, got to bring it back.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, I just think I do love the fact that you told that story, and the fact that looking at the data, and this is why this report's so important, is that you want to be able to benchmark and understand what's good and what's not. And then you also need to combine that with the direct insights on an individual video that can help you figure out like how to make this like really actionable. And I'll just like, you know, for the benefit of the audience, like you guys made these changes, you made this new video, it did incredibly well in the engagement rate, also tons of traffic to this. And I just love this example of going from this very high level understanding down to like a literal like second by second understanding within the video actually unlocked all these insights and this win for us.
Totally. I think that was another thing that was like a little bit unexpected. I mean, we're constantly considering SEO when we're creating videos and when we're creating content in general, but we want for our videos to rank well in search, just like we would want a blog article to rank well. And we were just, it was an experiment for us in a way. Like we were just like, hey, seems like what people are caring about. But this has brought a ton, this just shot way up in terms of like Google search results. When people are searching for iPhone, when people are searching for iPhone settings, we have a really high ranking video. And that just means that a lot of people are coming and learning from Wistia and making better videos with their iPhone in general, which is really exciting to us. And so, yeah, that's exactly the type of things that we hope to get across in the State of Video report is just all this data. One, there's a lot of data there that I think can help guide decisions around video making for your business, but also it can help inspire you about what to look at in your own, if you're a Wistia customer, what you can look at in your own Wistia account and make sense of the data that you're looking at and make great decisions moving forward about your content or what you decide to make next.
And this is why we love the State of Video report. So tell us what's happening with video marketing today.
Yeah, so I think one of the things we really wanted to look at in this year's report is that starting in 2020, pandemic happens, businesses are forced to make a lot of video content. Storefronts are closed. They need to be, they just need to be communicating with video is like one of the only ways they can communicate. So we just saw video production, video uploads like go nuts in 2020. Just a ton of video production, way more proliferation of video than we would have ever expected. And then video that came down slightly in 2021, but was still way up. It's continuing to come back down a little bit in 2022, sort of like back to normal, as like everyone's sort of thinking like, are we back to normal? Are things back to normal? And so video uploads have come down a little bit. Same with plays, but what's interesting is just to see a clear shift. So what we did this year is we sort of we looked back from 2012 and took a look at the trend, like from 2012 to 2019, we sort of looked at what's the trajectory here. And then we projected that forward from 2019 to 2022 to see if the pandemic weren't a thing, what would we have expected businesses and audiences continue to do during this time? And so what we found is that in terms of uploads and plays during the pandemic, again, things really shot up. So both for uploads and plays, 44 businesses and audiences played and uploaded 44% more video content than we would have expected. And same with minutes watched, way up. In 2022, if we looked at our projection and where things actually ended up, we're still 59% above where we were in 2019 in terms of video uploads and video plays. And the real thing that is like mind-blowing to me is minutes watched. So this is like how much audiences are watching. And this is actually up 87% from 2019. So what that just signals to me is that, one, businesses are just locked into video way more clearly than they were before the pandemic. And I think the pandemic really transformed how important video is to consumers and to people who are watching video. I think video is a huge mainstay and a huge part of people's everyday lives. They're watching video content all day long. On social platforms, video is the preferred way to consume information from a business or from something that they want to be entertained by. And it couldn't be more clear that before the pandemic, there was a lot of people watching video. And after the pandemic, it is like a huge part of people's lives, way more than we would have expected. So that's one of the things that like really blew me away when we sort of did this experiment of like, what would we have expected and what did things end up in 2022?
Yeah, I think it's like a pretty important thing because it is, did we just go back to where we were before? And like, no, we didn't. You know, behaviors changed. The content that people are making has changed. Comfort with video has changed. The willingness for people to make longer form content has changed, and in some pretty significant ways. And I think that that's like a really puts us in an interesting spot, especially because when we were looking at this data, one of the questions to all of these 1,500 marketers was like, hey, do you have a video strategy? And
Totally.
And you want to tell them do you want me to give the reveal, or do you want to give the reveal on how many of them actually have a video strategy?
You give the go ahead.
Oh yeah. So only,
yeah.
Basically 43% of marketers said that they don't have a video specific strategy, which I find to be, it makes sense in some regard in terms of like, hey, everyone's just trying to survive and get by. And like, oh, we'll put a video on this page. Oh, that helps with conversion. We'll put a video on this page. Like, oh, that helps with enablement or whatever the thing is for how they're using video. But like, there's an obvious opportunity going back to what we were talking about before of like, if you really understand how your audience wants to engage, you understand what types of videos they want, or you can dig in deep on, you can basically have people thinking about and looking at the data on a day-to-day basis. It makes a big impact in terms of the leverage you can get from video. And so I thought it was like kind of surprising that so many people have not actually codified their strategy.
I agree. I think that's super surprising. Like we asked the same question last year, and the answer is basically the same. It was sort of like in the mid 40%. You know, it's almost half of businesses basically saying we don't have a strategy around this type of, you know, activity. And I wonder what the number would be if we said, do you have an email strategy? Do you have a blog or an SEO
that's a good
strategy?
point.
You know, it's like I would imagine that the numbers are a lot higher. And so yeah, it was really surprising that even year over year, we didn't see that number move much, and that folks don't have a video strategy. Kind of, that's something that's data for us that makes us excited to try and give some guidance there. What are a few different video strategies you could employ? Because it can be so effective.
The other thing that like is just, this isn't not really specifically in the report, but as someone who's been in this space for 16 years, I can say this, like, when we started, you know, we talked to a company and say, hey, do you want to make a video? They're like, yeah, but I can't spend 20 grand to make, you know, a video for my blog. Like, or I can't spend 20 grand to make like even a launch video, like even more. And now it's just it's accepted that in any of these places, you could make a video with your webcam and your screen. You can make a video with your phone. Now, it doesn't mean you always do it that way, but like it's now possible. And what that means is you have to look all through the funnel, and you could make the best place for you with video might be the very tippity top, or it might literally be custom videos that your team is making for specific prospects that are coming in. And if you don't take the time to look at it and figure it out, you may be getting some benefit, but there may be like a 10x or 100x benefit you could get if you just switched where in the funnel you're thinking about making this stuff. And that wasn't possible 10 years ago. Like, it just wasn't cost perspective. It was not technology perspective. It was not possible.
Yeah, I think audience expectations too were different. You know, we've just spent, 2 to 3 years basically looking at webcams, looking at one another through cell phone cameras and web cameras, whether we're at work or in personal life. And our social platforms are like flooded with any type of video imaginable, from, like, if I give it air quotes again, the quality, the production value is low, all the way to the highest. And so audiences are used to seeing anything. They're happy to see anything as long as the value's there, and as long as, like, the actual content quality is really what it's about, and, like, the production quality, folks are way more forgiving. And webcams and using things like continuity camera with your iPhone, using your iPhone. I mean, the cameras that we have with us, almost everyone has in their pocket or with their computer, are getting so much better that it's really not really about how bad something looks or how it feels anymore. You can just make a great video, with the thing that's in your pocket, the device that's in your pocket most of the time.
Okay, we've covered a lot of stuff, but there's so much more in the State of Video report. So if you want more depth and detail, like, where should somebody go to learn more about the State of Video report?
They should go to wistia.com. You can find it on our blog. You can find it on our website. Another thing that I wanted to mention earlier is, like, the State of Video report for us is exciting in a creative sense. We have such a great creative team here in terms of, like, the designers and the folks on our storefront, our web development team, and our video team, of course. Like, every year we want to make a better experience. So the art direction, the design is, like, super fun. The video is really great. The web experience is really easy to step through all the content. So however you like to read or get data or get information, you can watch the video. The website's awesome. And of course, downloading the report will give you all the information that we have. It's really cool. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, you guys crushed it. Thank you so much for the work on this one. That's why I wouldn't wear the shirt if I wasn't as proud of it as I am,
Yeah, it's super fun. It's fun. It's fun to have a big project with, a big team to be working on this all together. It's business intelligence. It's all of our designers, video, our marketing team. There's just a ton that goes into it. So because we want it to be great. And I think we did a really good job. The whole team did a really good job this year.
Yeah,
awesome.
Everyone should be very proud. Okay, we have a couple rapid fire questions. We're going to try something new.
Okay,
so we're going to do some rapid
this
fire
is new?
questions.
I'm number one.
This is brand new.
What?
Look,
oh, wow.
New
we need
segment.
some good sound effects for this.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we'll have to figure out what it is. Okay, great.
Don't worry. We can have the sound effects, okay? Should we do the rapid fire section? Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Should we do it?
Let's do it. Let's get in there.
Cool.
Rapid fire.
Okay. All right. Are people feeling long form or short form content more these days?
Answer both.
Great. What's the most popular platform for businesses to share video on?
LinkedIn and their website.
Perfect.
And YouTube. LinkedIn, YouTube, and their website. That's where it's at.
Those three. That's the triumvirate. Favorite video that...
There you go.
We love the motorcycles.
I've got a motorcycle
Favorite
sound effects on play.
Yeah. Favorite motorcycle on the market today?
I have no idea. What should I say? The two. I only know three motorcycle brands: Yamaha, Harley Davidson, and Ducati.
Ducati is obviously the one. Okay.
Okay, great. I knew Ducati.
Favorite video.
Like Ducati.
Favorite video that Wistia made this year?
In 2022 or 2023?
You get to pick. Favorite video of the last. Okay. Hottest video trend for 2023. What's it going to be?
Videos for social media and webinars. We know that in our report, basically, folks said, "Hey, we're really investing more in social media this year." We know that a lot of people see a lot of value in social media video in terms of, like, the ROI or the engagement they get out of it. And we know that that's where a lot of audiences are. And then webinars, 80% of marketers went live last year, whether it was for town halls, meetings, or webinars. And webinars was was consistently ranked right behind product videos and educational videos for marketers in terms of, like, the types of videos that they saw the most engagement from, the most ROI from, and the things that they prioritized last year. So I think webinars are going to continue to be, and virtual live events are going to continue to be really big.
Totally agree. And if you're looking for the, the best new webinar platform out there, what's that?
Wistia Live. Let's go.
Obviously. Okay, great. If people want to learn more, connect with you, where should they go?
LinkedIn is a great spot. Yeah. Find me out.
Great.
Seek me out on LinkedIn.
Adam Day on LinkedIn.
Adam Day.
Adam, thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you both. Always a pleasure.
Bye, Adam.
Bye.
Always with the bye.
Bye. What's great about that conversation with Adam is it's just like pure chaos and delight and just like hanging out from the get-go.
From the jump. From the jump.
But no, I think it was, it's kind of amazing how much work they put into this and how much data is in there and how many insights can be pulled out of it. And I'm really glad that he shared that story around the iPhone settings video because it doesn't seem like a big deal, but that's driven like, tens of thousands of visitors a month to us, basically, that one insight. And it's just such a reminder of like, you have the right data at the high level to understand what's going on. And you also dig in deep. You can make actionable changes that can have a real impact on the business. And sometimes it's easy to miss that because the graphs are so pretty and it's so well put together. It's like, but you need that baseline in order to be able to be strategic on the individual level.
Absolutely. I think the other thing, I downloaded the report, read it, thought it was amazing.
Great.
I think Adam talked a little bit about like the intimidation factor of video, right? That like, whether it's like, I don't know the technical things I'm supposed to be doing or like, I don't have the strategy. I think something I realized when I was reading the report is that there are so many businesses who are trying to do exactly what another business is trying to do. Like you're all out there and there are resources. And like the State of Video report is a reminder that like, I don't know, you guys can talk to each other, right? Like there's lots of ideas on the Wistia website. There's just like, there's so many ways to like actually dig into video marketing and like make it better. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it was a nice little reminder.
Yeah, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
There's a lot of people trying to do this. We're not alone. We're in it together. That's it. What a nice way to close it up there.
I know.
Well, if you want to watch more episodes, listen to more episodes of Talking Too Loud, head to Wistia.com. You'll find Talking Too Loud at the bottom or search for Talking Too Loud wherever you listen or watch podcasts. We have so many great episodes that have come out and so many more that are coming out. I'm so pumped about the upcoming guest list we have. It's like super exciting. Yes, it's very sick. Please rate and review the podcast wherever you listen to it. That helps more people discover it. If you're getting value out of the podcast, we'd love for you to share the word. If you have feedback for us, you can email us at ttlpod@wistia.com. And if you want to connect with Sylvie and I, we are both on Twitter. Sylvie's Give Me the Loot. I'm C Savage, and we are on LinkedIn. And we'd love to connect. So that's all she wrote, I think.
It is.